Hi, this is Leanna Borsalino with Moving to Austin, Texas Suburbs. I'm a realtor at Haven Homes in the Round Rock area. If you would like to subscribe, just push that bell below. And all the information also will tell you how to contact me if you'd like to get in touch. You can shoot me a text message, call me, send me an email, or we can get on a Zoom call, whatever you'd like. Today, we're actually going to be focusing on Hutto, Texas. Hutto is where I live, so I'm really excited to tell you all about what makes Hutto so awesome and why I actually live here. I am a native Austinite. I grew up in the area, so I definitely would pay attention to why Hutto is where I chose to raise my children and where I reside. So stick with us, and I can't wait to show you around. Welcome back to the channel. Again, my name is Leanna Borsalino with Moving to Austin, Texas Suburbs. Whether you are wanting to move now or a year from now, I'd love for you to reach out. It's never too early to begin doing some research. We do focus on the suburbs of the Austin area. Again, I am an Austinite. There's a lot of wonderful places to live, but today we're going to be focusing on Hutto, and I cannot wait to show you around. But before we get started, I'd like to touch on a little bit of the history of Hutto. So in case you're wondering where Hutto is geographically, Hutto is actually located just northeast of Austin. It is right off of the 130 toll road, so it's easy access to get you right into Austin. It's about, I'd say, 20 to 30 minute drive into Austin, depending on, if there's a lot of traffic or not. Toll really does help remove a lot of the inconvenience of traffic. So I think that's one of the big pluses actually of living in Hutto, is you get to avoid all of the major areas that get a lot of congestion from traffic. So again, I want to let you know a little bit about the history of Hutto. So Hutto was established back in the 1800s, and there's a railroad that runs right through it. So there's actually a railroad that goes from Hutto, actually east of Hutto, which is Taylor, goes all the way to Taylor and then beyond. But it comes through Hutto, goes into Round Rock, goes all the way to Cedar Park, through Leander, all the way. And that railroad, which, we'll talk a little bit about the history of that even in the Round Rock videos with the Chisholm Trail and all that kind of stuff, was established back in the 1800s. And so there was a little small town, a little downtown of Hutto. But what happened back in the 1800s, which made the news, made the printing press back in the day, was that there was a circus coming through town and a hippo escaped. And he was roaming the streets of Hutto. And so nothing happened in Hutto ever. I mean, it was basically just a bunch of farmland. And now there's this big there's this big hippo running around. So they caught him and everything, but it made the newspaper, and it was exciting. And thus the mascot of Hutto was formed. And so a lot of people that are from Hutto are very proud of the hippo as our mascot. You're going to see hippos everywhere. I think there's over 4,000 hippo statues and counting in Hutto. It is very much encouraged to rub the top of the head of the hippo whenever you see one for good luck. It's known as the town's talisman. I believe all of the schools here have the hippo as their mascot. So a lot of times you'll see schools and they'll all have different type of mascots. Well, Hutto loves the hippo so much, any school you go to, you're going to see the hippo. So, and that might change, but right now, again, all the schools have that hippo as their mascot. So a little bit about Hutto. There's a little bit of over 30,000 people that live here. I did grow up in Round Rock. That was where I was raised, and I had friends that lived out in Hutto when I was a kid. And honestly, I used to think that Hutto was out in the boonies, out in the middle of nowhere, and even though I loved to go visit them, I always felt like it was such a drive. Now that we have toll roads established everywhere, you got, like I said, 130 and even 45 going through, so it's not really that much of a nightmare to get out to anymore. And I never in a million years thought I would move out to Hutto, but lo and behold, here I am. And have chosen to raise my two children here. So I'm in Hutto and I'm here to stay. And if you are interested in becoming my neighbor, let's do a little bit more of a deep dive into more. A few things about Hutto that I love personally. And I will just kind of dive into that. Like I said, the roads here, it's actually pretty convenient to get to Hutto. There is the toll 130 that's going straight through. As a matter of fact, they're expanding on it, and it's going right down the line of where Hutto and Taylor meet. And so if you drive out there, you're going to see the highway kind of forming. And the reason why that is happening is because of Samsung. And Samsung is a multi-billion-dollar project. It's actually going to be bigger than the Tesla factory that's going on down 130. I would say the Tesla factory is about 30 minutes south of us on 130. So Samsung is going to be out 15 minutes east of us in Taylor. And it's massive. It is so much bigger than Tesla. So honestly, I think a great reason to move out to Hutto alone is simply because Samsung's coming in. So there's going to be a lot more jobs here. They're going to be moving a lot of people in the tech industry here. Not everyone's going to want to live in Taylor because it's a little bit further out. So a lot of people are going to be looking to move to the Hutto area. So I do foresee a lot of the houses in this area going up rather rapidly in equity once Samsung opens. And Samsung is projected to open next year in 2024, I think around the fall time. So less than a year from now, Samsung should be open and running. And I was just there, by the way, and it looks amazing. It's massive. It is really incredible. It looks like a little mini city. Tesla looks like a city. This looks like an even larger mini city. So however you want to I guess say it like that. What are some other things that I really love about Hutto? Hutto has a small town feel. There are not a lot of suburbs in Austin that still have that small town feel. We do have the downtown, but it's a pretty close-knit community here in Hutto, so you're going to see a lot of events every third Saturday of the month. We have our farmers market. There's always something going on downtown in the Hutto area. We have really great barbecue. As a matter of fact, my kids play baseball, and the mayor came out to the opening ceremonies in the spring, and he was there at my son's t-ball and my daughter's softball 8U game for the opening ceremonies. And Southside Barbecue gives their food and is at the concession stand every single game. So we have amazing food at the concessions for t-ball and softball and, baseball for kids. And the mayor is there. And so, like I said, it's just a really big deal. The community is very close-knit. I know a lot of families that actually take their kids out of sports in Pflugerville and Round Rock neighboring areas because of just, I guess, how much more Hutto goes like the extra mile for the sports here. So it's kind of a cool thing. I mean, even our stadium at Hutto High School is pretty sweet. So... And you can see a little bit of that in our videos. So another really cool thing about Hutto is we have the Co-op district, which is still in progress. It's being built right now. There is a Top Notch Burgers that's been opened right behind the infamous silos. I would say the most famous silos in Texas are Magnolia Market up in Waco, but the second most known silos are here in Hutto. And right behind those silos is Top Notch Burgers. The very first Top Notch is actually in Austin. You might recall it from the movies back in, I think, in the 1980s. Either way, the movie is Dazed and Confused with Austin's very own Matthew McConaughey. And the very second location ever to open is here in Hutto. And it is open and it's really fun. There's like an area in the back with a lot of green turf, and there could, there's a pavilion for live music, so it's like a really nice area, and they're building the co-op all around there. So you got a beautiful pond, like little mini lakes all around, and then they have a splash pad with a bunch of hippos in it, by the way, for the kids to play to cool off while you're having burgers. There's a Jack Allen's restaurant coming in, and they're going to be building these little mini condos all throughout the co-op. So they're calling it the next mini domain. And if you don't know what the domain is in North Austin, and it is an outdoor shopping mall. And it started out in one phase. It was very small, but a lot of very nice shopping experiences, a lot of luxury shopping at the domain. And so they're calling the co-op district the next domain. So we'll see if that actually happens and is true, but I have a feeling it is. Definitely a lot of things coming to the Hutto area. We got a Chuy's restaurant coming in. Chuy's is an infamous Tex-Mex restaurant in Austin. So if you want to try some authentic Tex-Mex, you might as well go to a Chuy's and also probably get a Mexican martini. They have really great Mexican martinis there too. If you're wondering what Tex-Mex is, it's basically Mexican food with lots and lots of cheese slathered all over it. And I feel like that is the most accurate description. Again, I am from Austin, so and I've had a lot of different Mexican food, but I think the thing that separates Tex-Mex from all the rest is there's just a ton of cheese everywhere. So hopefully you're not lactose intolerant. Sorry about you. And next I want to talk about the housing prices here. So one of the reasons I actually moved to Hutto is because it was a little bit more affordable. You get a little bit more bang for your buck if you move out into the Hutto area. So right now the average home price is about $385 according to what's online, so still very affordable. I will say though that, you know, I've recently been going, obviously I go around Hutto a lot and look at a lot of homes, and there's still some very reasonably priced homes just outside of downtown Hutto that are in the 200 price range, so you can still get a very nice house or a starter home. And you know, like I said, once Samsung opens, those prices aren't going to exist anymore. So it's one of the very last few places in the Austin area where you can get a very decently priced home, get more bang for your buck, and you know, almost long gone are the days of finding a house in the 200K range. So definitely, if that's something that you're interested in, maybe investing, I would highly recommend looking into the Hutto area. Again, I can show you around. I am from here. I live in Hutto. I've lived here since 2016, and I was born and raised in Round Rock. So born in Austin, raised in Round Rock, but you know, tomato, tomato. There's also a ton of new construction in Hutto. Like, it is honestly quite amazing how much new construction is going on right now in the Hutto area. I mean, I'm not shocked by it because, like I said, Samsung is coming in, but there's a lot going on here. And not only that, but they're offering tons of incentives for buyers to get in. So you can find very nicely priced brand new homes, brand spanking new in Hutto. And, you know, they're essentially going to be paying you a lot of incentives to get you into their homes. So if you want to go check that stuff out as well, I'd be happy to show you. Also, something to note is Hutto tends to be either a subdivision or rural. Also, to focus a little bit on the property taxes here, if you're wondering approximately what you might be paying. So property taxes do vary depending on what neighborhood you're in. So you could be looking at anywhere in the 1% range to, like, if you're living in Star Ranch, and those property taxes are more like in the 3% range. So that's something that we would want to evaluate and consider when we're trying to figure out what your mortgage payment's going to be. So, and again, it varies per neighborhood. All right, next up, I want to focus a little bit on the schools here. I will say this is definitely an area that was very that was of concern for me because I'm a mother. I have two kids. I have a 8-year-old daughter and a 6-year-old son. And this is what I will say. The ratings on niche.com are in the B range. So that was of concern to me when I first moved to Hutto, and I actually didn't want my daughter in the Hutto school district. So I put her into private school. Well, then I learned more about the communities here in the neighborhood and kind of how the schools work, and I realized that the Hutto school district is actually really awesome. So I took my daughter out of private school and started putting them into the public school system. And also what I've seen is a lot of families from neighboring cities such as Pflugerville or Round Rock are taking their kids out of Pflugerville or Round Rock, which, by the way, Round Rock is a blue ribbon district. They're removing them and putting them into the Hutto school district. So I will say across the board, what I have seen is the Hutto schools are actually really awesome. They take care of the kids. The teacher-student ratio is actually very good. I think there's 20 kids in my, there's 20 students in each of my kids' classes. So they kind of cap it. They don't let the class size get too big. The teachers are amazing. They're very communicative. I just really think that it says a lot if I took my daughter out of private school and put her into public school, because I was concerned about her education and what she might actually be receiving from the public school system. And when I realized that that wasn't something that I really needed to be concerned with, was more than happy to put her into the Hutto public school system. So take it from me, a mother, a parent in Hutto, and like I said, I don't feel like there can be a better review than I had my kids in private, took them out of private and put them in public because Hutto's amazing. So there you go. Okay, so a little bit more about the schools here in Hutto. There are currently 7 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, and 1 high school. However, there is a 9th grade center for the high school, so the 9th grade students are kind of annexed and go to a separate building altogether. I've heard mixed reviews about this. I think some students love it, some dislike it. My kids are not of high school age, so I can't really report on any positive or negative things about it, but that is something that Hutto does. There are more schools currently being built, so I believe there's going to be a second high school opening shortly. So Hutto High School is actually a 6A school, so that's actually pretty large. When I was in high school back in the day, I went to McNeil, which is in Round Rock, but Hutto was a 2A school back then. So if you can imagine, they've grown quite a bit. And there's actually a lot of construction at the high school now because they just continue to expand to make room for more students. But like I said, there are 7 elementary, 2 middle schools, and the 1 high school. They are currently making room for more students and building more schools. So that will be here in the very near future. Now I want to talk to you guys a little bit about downtown Hutto. First off, you can't go into downtown Hutto without seeing the famous hippo, Henrietta. So she's big, bold, and beautiful, and they have little stairs to let you go up there, take pictures on her, do whatever. So highly encouraged to go hang out on the town's mascot, Henrietta the hippo. So I really love going to downtown Hutto. There's a lot of stuff to do there. There's a Lamppost Coffee, so they got some really great coffee. They got the Hall of Fame, which is a great burger shop. I like to take my kids there after their ball games. There is a bunch of new restaurants that have just opened. There's a new pizza shop that just opened. I've gone in there a few times. They have great pizza, a lot of great shopping boutiques. There's this really cute flower shop that you go into and they serve you wine while you shop around. And then there's this other, lots of food trucks. So if you like food trucks at all, I mean, Austin's pretty well known for food trucks. I think Austin had food trucks before they were popular anywhere. Austin was doing food trucks. So of course, Hutto has its own food truck area and there's some really great food to try. So there's definitely not a lack of food and experiences going on in downtown Hutto. Also at the Hall of Fame, something that's pretty cool is they have this back area which kind of turns into like a nightclub, and they'll have karaoke and all sorts of things, and you can play pool, like do whatever. So really nice. All of it's very family friendly, dog friendly. I have a dog. And like I said, they have a lot of events out on the grass out there. There's a CBD shop. And the Happy Panini food truck also is in downtown Hutto, and they have really great food too, so I would recommend checking them out. There's Mary's Mountain Cookies. So there's a cookie shop. It smells amazing. Got to stop in there one day if you have a little bit of a sweet tooth. I highly recommend it. Another really great restaurant that I like to go into is Frosties. So something that's awesome about Hutto and actually Georgetown, which if you want to check out our Georgetown video, that they do in the Hutto area is you can walk around outside, order your drink, and just like, you know, keep shopping. So I can go order my Frosties drink with some rum or some vodka or whatever, and I can just go for a little bit of a stroll and continue shopping. So, and I personally love to do that. So not everywhere allows you to open carry alcohol, as I like to call it, but Hutto does, and Hutto's great. And they, like I said, they have a really cute little seating area outside for the kids to play games. You can bring your dogs, let them sit and run around a little bit. So it's just very family friendly. Gives you, like I said, that small town vibe if you're looking for it. So without going too far outside of the big city. Hutto is, again, in Texas, in Austin. It gets very hot out here. So something that Hutto offers that a lot of the suburbs that Austin do offer is there's lots of outdoor walking trails, lakes, family-friendly areas. You got the splash pad. So there's a lot to do outdoors if you are an outdoor junkie and you like to hike and bike, trail ride, all those types of things. We got all of that and more in Hutto. So I like to go take an afternoon stroll. I'll go to Hutto Lake and take my dog, walk her around the lake, for a quick little run or a jog. Really nice areas. They do a good job at taking care of their parks here. And like I said, in that summertime when it gets really hot and you don't know what else to do, there are water choices galore. So anyway, just another one of the things that I really love about living in Hutto. One of my very favorite things about Austin is how diverse the city is. And actually, niche.com ranks Hutto as an A. So if you're thinking if you're moving a little bit outside of the city into the boondocks, it's not going to be very diverse. That is not true. Hutto gets an A. So I definitely, like I said, would encourage you to contact me if you're interested in exploring Hutto. Speaking of, it wouldn't be right to not mention how music friendly Hutto is. So, as most people know, Austin is known as the live music capital of the world, right? Well, that also spills over into the suburbs of Austin, including Hutto. Hutto has an outdoor amphitheater in the park at Brushy Creek. And we have some pretty large venues there. It's really wonderful. I would compare it a little bit to Auditorium Shores. Maybe not quite as good as a view. I mean, with Auditorium Shores, you get the backdrop of the city of Austin. But it is just as large, just as family friendly. And we have had such names such as Snoop Dogg, Mad Mouse, to name a few. And there's also this really, really, really cute brewery that just opened up that is like on the hill overlooking the park at Brushy Creek Amphitheater. I think it's called Rockabilly Brewery. So, and they on the weekends will have bouncy houses for the kids. So, go drink some beer and you can be standing up there on the ledge and overlook down to the Auditorium Shores, sorry, that's Austin, to overlook the amphitheater at the park at Brushy Creek and enjoy some really awesome music. So that's just something else I really like to say about Hutto is extremely diverse, and it just really offers a lot for entertainment as well. So I think that you're not really going to be lacking in that area when it comes to Hutto. So if you want really awesome music venues, live music, that's right down your street. If you want to be close to the toll roads, if you want that small knit family community feel while still being very close to a big city, and you want homes that have a really good chance of having some awesome equity because of Samsung right next door, then I do think Hutto might be the place for you. So if you're interested in exploring Hutto, I would love for you to give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or let's get on a Zoom call and we can begin that hunt for you. Again, my name is Leanna Borsellino. Check the details below if you'd like to contact me. And let's start finding yourself your dream home or your investment property. Who knows? Let's get you to Austin. So thanks for joining me today. I had so much fun. Ciao for now.